to...
Stop touching me, Punk. We talk about masculinity, honey. You taking my masculinity away. Don't do that.
I
was trying to be butch. I was trying to be butch. Don't do that. That's what leads to depression. Your depressing ass. Get on out of here. But anyway, we were talking about masculinity and how it leads to depression in men. And we brought up some valid points. We all talked about our experiences growing up as men or women.
How the struggle for masculinity leads to depression in men. I don't think it's fair to say that all masculine men are depressed. Let's be clear.
Right.
Yeah, all of
them.
Trying to keep up and trying to live up to that expectation. That's depression in itself, even for a real man. But anyway.
Masculinity as it relates to mental health. This is an article from a journal by Dr. Ken Harlan, and you can pull this up on the internet. This article as well, and it shows you like personal worries such as your appearance, your body changes, your chronic illness, parental separation, death of a loved one, family financial problems, and low self-esteem combined with social worries like pressure to succeed, relationships, sexuality, identity, substance misuse, and experience with abuse or violence. These combined personal and social worries can cause stress leading to anxiety, sadness, depression, withdrawal, aggression, and poor coping skills. And that if a young person in good mental health has capacity to develop emotionally, intellectually, creativity, and spiritually. And so that's why I'm telling you as early as a child when you're faced with all those different issues. Because like if we think back to a child, like I didn't really get faced with like half of these, but I know a lot of people, friends of mine, who were like faced with like basically all of those. You can say, and like masculinity, which the full umbrella that it encompasses, deals with so much in regards to how you express yourself or who you hang with. Like, because you have a lot of straight friends who like want to, like I have a lot of straight guy friends, and who have no problem coming to the club. But other people say, I don't want to expose them to this and whatever. If he's straight and he's in an environment and there's nothing there he's gonna leave there straight.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? There's the club or a show or an environment or interacting with you is not going to change what his preference is.
Right.
His preference is his when he met you.
Right.
And then the part that we want to really touch on is how it's leading to depression when it comes to masculinity in men with gay men. Because I think part of the problem is with a gay man, if you have an identity crisis in your life and then you around your gay friends and you're acting gay, and then you go and hang around your straight friends, you're trying to act straight in front of your family at the family reunion and all that stuff. I think that's what, leads to the depression, because it's just like you get to this place where you're like, damn, who am I supposed to be right now? Who am I, and you get tired of it. So then it's just like when you are an adult and you're sitting down at home by yourself and you're thinking about stuff like that and you just have to deal with it and it's just you. And you feel like, you're just all alone in this world and you're the only one going through this and everything. So now I think that's where the depression sets in, because you sit around and you really evaluate the situation that you are in.
Yeah. Well, I've often said for people that, like for men in my experiences with friends or men that have been like on the down low, and I've often said to them, I can't imagine living a life where I was unable to be who I really am. And I can only imagine how depressing or unhappy or miserable, in most cases these men are. Like you said, to have to live those double lives, to have to act a certain way when you're around this group of people, and then act a certain way around this group of people. And, I can't imagine the pressures that can put on a person. And kind of like we said even before the break, just the freedom that you get from being able to really and truly be who you are and to be yourself, at all times is I know for me, speaking personally, is a wonderful experience. And I can't imagine my life any other way. I can't imagine not being able to be truly who I am.
And then another thing is just like the environment that we're in, when we run into those people, and those people, when we live our lives so free. As growing up, we're so free. We're free to do this. We're free to be this way. We don't have to worry about, who's watching, anybody see me, and da-da-da. And when you run into those type of people try to water you down. They try to get you to play it down. It's just like, why are you doing all that? Why are you acting that way? It's just like, this is me. And so it's just like they try to bring you to where they are.
Exactly.
In essence, it's just like, well, if you really, really think about it, you should be yourself.
Elevate yourself
to where
exactly.
I am. Because if you are a product of me. Of we have the same things inside of us. Why am I expressing myself differently and you're hiding who you really are?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's almost like they're not, like you said, not really being who they are, and always having to watch over their shoulder. And then it also, in essence, it affects their relationship with other people. You know, it affects their relationships with their friends who may be more feminine. It affects their relationships with their partners, so to speak, if their partner's more feminine, because when they're around these people who they have to project and portray this masculine image, they're then trying to get that person to. So, you know, spoken or unspoken, it's going to put the pressures on them too to try to be someone that they're not.
Do you think it's a fair shot for those people on the other end? If there are two aspects of it, on one aspect you say that they are hiding who they are, have to live two different lives with two different people, and then the other aspect, on the complete polar opposite end, is you all who feel like they should be comfortable with who they are and be more of themselves. But don't you think wanting them to be who they are, you can want them to be, but it's doing the same thing on the opposite end. It's pulling them. If you're trying to pull somebody too fast, you can drag somebody.
But it's not a matter of. For me, it's not.
I'm not discussing pulling.
Yeah.
I'm just wanting you to understand that it's okay
to be whoever you are. And you may still be as masculine as you are. You may still like football. You may still like hunting. You may still like all those things that are associated with being masculine.
But let it be your choice.
But if you are purposely hiding who you are, if you're purposely hiding the fact that you date men or like men, then you're not truly being who you are. Not that you're necessarily going to change your behaviors. You may still do all the same things that you've already done. But if you get around this group of people and then all of a sudden, don't say that, or don't call me that, or don't hold my hand, or don't whatever, or all of a sudden I like women and I'm looking at this woman saying, yeah, she's fine. Well, no, that you really don't like women.
But I understand.
I don't think that's fair for you to say for that person, though. That may be what they like, and that may be very well who they are. Yeah. That's why I don't think that.
If that is who they are, but we all know some of these people, and we all know that that's not really and truly who they are.
But
that
see,
is what they do in those arenas to put up a front. Oh my goodness!
I think to both of y'all's point is, it's just like there's not just one black person, not one black person. It's just like we have different, black people, different shades of black people, and different black people like different things. Right. So I think the thing is, that's why when it comes to the gay perspective, that's why we have all these different groups, and not just in the gay arena, even in the straight arena, we all gravitate to what we are used to and what we were brought up. It's just like, why Niesha and Sophia get along so well? Well, Niesha's free, Sophia is free to be who they are. Jason is free to be who he is. So we don't come with these expectations. We just say, oh, I like her, blah, blah. But when I run into somebody and it's just like, well, child, she having issues with being gay. I see you all of a sudden, you round us and you girl this and girl that and girl, and then with somebody else, what's up, fool? What's up? And I'm like, girl, what is all that for? So it's just like, that's why we have all these different cliques in society, because people gravitate to what they are comfortable with and what is normal to them. And so I understand what he's saying. I understand what you're saying. So it's just like, don't force people to come to where you are. Just because I'm gay don't mean I have to be as gay as you are. But what Jason is saying is, if you're gay, just be gay and don't worry about what people are saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not about gay.
He's talking about gay.
I'm just speaking in general, like Jason said. If you saying that you like men and you're around me, and then you see women say you like women because you feel like somebody may be a certain type of way, that may be very well who they are, and they may not be putting up a facade. They may be comfortable.
But we are speaking about those people who are putting up facades. We are not speaking about people who are not.
And to keep it in perspective, from my point of view, I don't know about Jason or Niesha or nobody else, but from my point of view, what we're talking about is the depression. That's what leads to it, because people are not allowed to be who they are, and then you're trying to be something that you're really not. And if that's who you really were, if that's who you are, then you wouldn't be depressed about it.
And either way, because a lot of times, if we're speaking about those people who are quote unquote bisexual and do like men and women, then why not say that too? Oftentimes, when they're with men, they say they like men. When they're with women, they say they like women. It's not that whoever they're with, hey, baby, nice to meet you. My name is Joe. I like men and women. It's usually not that.
Well, I think that goes back to society. Society tells
Well,
me
that's
that.
So
what
again, right? So
that's
again, if
what
people
I'm
are
talking about.
free
I'm
and
just
able to be who
just
they
tying it
are,
back together. It's
right?
just, that just goes
Right.
back to society saying that.
And not only that, I like to say, why is it that a man could tell another man who's supposedly bisexual, why is it that you can share with the other man that you like women, but you can't share with the women that you like men?
I think that has a lot to do with, again, the double standards and of what it is to be masculine.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because
because, like,
if you're a
people-
man who also likes men, you can't be masculine,
labeled.
which isn't necessarily true. You know,
is the same thing,
whereas
I mean,
if
like-
you're a woman who also likes women, men don't really care. For
They don't
some
care
men,
about
they like, ooh, yeah, baby.
Well, they probably care, but a man is supposed to think that's
That's sexy.
simulation. So he's
Right.
not going to say, "I have a problem with that."
Right.
Like men will encourage their women for checkups and to go check on themselves and check on their health. If something wrong, go seek attention. But they won't
Right. Right. And
because
like I
it's
said,
a sign of weakness.
the double
If they-
standard. Yeah.
So,
Which
And
is-
then when you were saying earlier when we came on and you were talking about the different things that you said, but I never experienced that. And it's just like, when you said that, I was thinking, well, yes, you did, because you just said it. Because, you know, you was talking about all the things that you said. I ain't experienced that because I was encouraged not to. And when you were encouraged not to, that meant they didn't want you to do that. They wanted you to do the opposite. So if
Well,
they wanted you to do the opposite,
Well,
that means...
I think it was different for me because I grew up in 3 different households and growing up. So I had 3 different angles to come from. So if you have your mother on one side who's half Hispanic and half Indian, then you have your father on one side who's fully African American, and then you have your grandparents who is, your grandmother is white and your grandfather is Hispanic and half black. Moving in those different households, you get 3 different versions. So it was kind of different because the father was very, I don't like that, you know, but he was the one who had to end up taking me to a Diana Ross concert, and he didn't want to do that. My grandmother, on the other hand, you know, she was very cultivating because, you know, in the lifestyle of that, she was very cultivating. You just do whatever's going to make you comfortable. You be who you are. The grandfather on the other side, you know, from Hispanic side and, you know, being half black or whatever the case may be, he's just trying to maintain the household. So he just wants everybody to be comfortable and to be okay. The mother, on the other hand, is saying, I just want my baby to be happy because I'm, you know, I'm in a broken relationship. So whatever's going to make my baby happy, I don't want to put anything else on them more than I can bear. So it came from different sides. But what I was saying, I really didn't have to deal with that is because there were so many other issues going up. That was the only thing that I could really recall, but that was only from my father. And that was only for a small moment, you know, only a small period. So I really did not have to deal with that in growing up. If I dealt with it, I dealt with it from peers going to school because that's when it first hit me. And I was like, oh, this is not
normal.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be normal, but I've been doing this and now I'm getting, you know, approaching 14, 15, and 16 and you see all the different things, you know,
Yeah, I got
going
into
to
6th grade.
You know what I'm saying? Where you have to deal with those types of things head on and you say, oh, it's a culture shock. Because nobody said anything was wrong with this.
When I was in the, like 1st to the 6th grade, I was in the school, you know, black and white equally. So there was never any, oh, he switching or he just that. It was never none of that. Everybody just got along with everybody played with everybody, you know, all the parents. But then they rezoned the area, so they like sent me like, you know, lean on me. So they like
They sent you to East Side High.
to East Side High. So literally, when I got there, it was like, they were like girls in the 6th grade with babies, and that was like wild to me because my mother always taught me if you had a baby, you were grown.
Yeah.
So we were not even allowed to even deal with 6th graders with babies because these are grown women. Because she said they had made grown decisions, so we're not even able to talk. So I'm thinking like, what? And then they kept saying, so I was like on recess. We still had recess then, and we were playing. And then I came up to the swings where the girls was, and this girl said, "Get on from over here. Girls play with girls, and boys play with boys." And I thought, oh, that's something new. I had never experienced.
We just play.
We just played on the playground, and then the next time that it like that I could think of that hit me with something like that was when I was in the military. And
What? You are lying to
don't
me.
ask, don't tell. I was in the military, and you know, like when we were going through basics, and I'm sitting on the, like packing, getting ready to go to bed that night, and I hear like sniffling, like somebody crying. I'm thinking, what's going on now? Truly, now this would be my definition. So you know my definition of a husband. But this guy is completely straight. Everything else, but totally my definition of a husband. He ain't tall. Just like. And when I walk to try to see who crying, it's him. And it's because everything has gotten just so much on him, and he is broken down.
Pressure.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting here saying, this is going to be all right. It's just a Miller game. Blah. And I'm thinking to myself, Anna, this don't look right. Because I should.
You should be
if I'm
one
going
right.
but I constantly, and I kept seeing other guys break down like this because, but I guess since at an early, like from the 6th grade on, I had been battling with all the different, like how we get to fag this and this and another and all this. So you having the military, the mental game that they play with you didn't bother me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But if
Which brings up a point that I've often said, that, really, believe it or not, gay men are probably really some of the most masculine or macho men that you will ever find, because we've had to defend ourselves and fight for a lifetime just to be almost accepted for who we are. We have grown up having to, put our foot down and, demand respect from other people, from other, from girls, from other guys who are straight, from our families, so we know what it is to fight and stand up for ourselves. So that's the story that you just tell of you being the comforting one to this guy who is supposed to be super macho, and here you are, the gay guy in the army that's like ain't tripping on nothing, and he broke down.
But I have to beg to differ with you, because I didn't go through all that stuff, because I've always been supported by my husband. So my husband has always been in the picture, and whenever confrontation arrived, he was always there.
Which brings up another issue. Being delusional.
I keep telling you. See, that's what I was telling you.
Delusional.
Wait, ladies and gentlemen, we done had a breakthrough. We had a breakthrough. I told you, so Jason has finally accepted the fact that his mama's delusional. We're going to take a break, because this is a moment to celebrate. We got to celebrate my sister, accept the fact that her mom is ignorant. But we'll be right back right here.
Fuck
on
you.
The
Talk about my damn mama. Shelly, you here?
God, that was strong language from a lady.